You know, it's funny, when you really think about it, something as simple as a pencil, something I use almost every day, it's surprisingly complicated, right?
It really is.
I mean, we all probably have one nearby at our desks, in a drawer somewhere. But it's like this unassuming little tool with a fascinating story, and not just about how it's made,
Yeah.
but also about economics, creativity, even the way our brains work.
It's true. The more you delve into the world of pencils, the more you realize it's a microcosm of so many bigger ideas.
Which is why we're doing this deep dive today, the surprisingly intricate world of pencils. And we've got a really cool mix of sources to help us with this.
Yeah.
We've got academic papers about handwriting and how our grip impacts it. We've got excerpts from I, Pencil, that classic essay on economics.
Oh, yeah.
And even research on how computer graphics experts are trying to digitally recreate a realistic pencil stroke.
A diverse mix, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a journey. But I think the best place to start is with I, Pencil, because that essay really throws a curveball right from the start. It basically argues that no single person on Earth possesses all the knowledge to make a simple pencil.
Right. It's a brilliant illustration of something called decentralized knowledge.
Mm.
iPencil highlights how something most of us completely take for granted, a basic pencil, actually relies on this massive hidden network of skills and labor.
Okay, so it's more than just the people mining the graphite or chopping down the cedar wood.
Right.
Break that down for me a bit more. What does that actually look like practically?
Well, think about it this way. iPencil talks about the miners in Ceylon extracting the graphite. But what about the people who made the tools that those miners are using?
Oh.
You've got the loggers who are harvesting the cedar wood, yes,
Right.
but also the folks who built the trucks that transport the wood,
Wow.
the factories that made the saws. I mean, it goes on and on. And the critical point here is that no one person involved in this massive web needs to understand every step of the process for the pencil to exist.
Wow, that's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it, isn't it? It's like
Mhm.
this invisible orchestra of human knowledge coming together.
Exactly. And it all happens without a conductor, too, without some central planner dictating every step.
Right.
And this brings us to the economic argument that Pencil makes so eloquently, which is the power of free markets.
Okay.
Each individual, with their specialized knowledge driven by supply and demand, contributes to a final product that none of them could have conceived of or created alone.
So it's less about individual brilliance then, and more about the magic that happens when all these diverse skills and knowledge collaborate, even unintentionally.
Precisely. iPencil challenges us to think about the systems that enabled this kind of collaboration, to appreciate the unseen hands behind everyday objects.
That's a really, really interesting point. It makes me wonder, though, weren't there some economists who argued against that whole no central planner thing?
Ah, you're likely thinking of what's called the socialist calculation debate.
Okay.
Economists like Ludwig von Mises, they argued that a centrally planned economy, even with incredibly advanced technology, could never truly replicate the efficiency and innovation of a free market system.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So, tell me more about this debate. How does our trusty pencil factor into all this?
Well, Mises argued that economic decision-making, it isn't just about, crunching numbers.
Yeah.
It's about constantly adapting to change.
Right.
A pencil, as simple as it seems, is the end product of countless tiny decisions that are made by individuals based on their knowledge and their experiences
Mm.
on fluctuating supply and demand.
So, are you saying that even with algorithms and big data and all of that stuff, you still need that human touch, that personal knowledge and experience to make those judgment calls?
Absolutely. And the pencil, I think, really embodies that concept perfectly, right? You could program a computer with all the data in the world about
Yeah.
pencil manufacturing,
Right.
but it couldn't possibly anticipate every variable, every shift in the market, every new innovation that might affect the process.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like each pencil has this hidden history, this invisible network of knowledge sort of embedded within it. But speaking of intricate processes, what about what happens when we actually put pencil to paper?
Yeah.
We haven't even touched on all this research about pencil grips. We haven't even touched on all this research about pencil grips.
It's amazing, isn't it? This is seemingly simple act of picking up a pencil and writing.
Yeah.
It engages a whole other level of complexity.
Okay, so tell me about this pencil grip research. Is there actually a right way to hold a pencil? Because I'll be honest, I've been rocking the death grip since, grade school.
Well, the research suggests that how you hold your pencil can affect the fluency and even the legibility of your handwriting.
Wait, really? You're saying my grip impacts how people actually perceive what I'm writing.
Yeah, it plays a role, definitely. For example, a grip that allows for more fluid movement, it often leads to smoother, more legible handwriting. On the other hand, a tense grip can create fatigue and make the writing less clear. It's about the mechanics of how the pencil moves across the page.
Fascinating.
And
So it's not really about aesthetics then. It's more about optimizing these like tiny muscle movements for better control and ultimately, I guess, clearer communication.
yeah,
Like each subtle shift in pressure or angle influences the final product.
exactly. It highlights how even our seemingly insignificant habits can have these ripple effects. It reminds me, actually, of the research on like digitally simulating a pencil stroke talk about a surprisingly complex endeavor.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking about that. We have all these digital art programs now, right?
Right.
And I always sort of assumed it was as simple as, selecting the pencil tool and going to town.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
But it turns out that accurately recreating a pencil stroke digitally is incredibly difficult. Researchers are trying to factor in all these variables that, honestly, we often don't even consider, like the texture of the paper, the exact composition of the pencil lead, the pressure and the angle of the stroke. It gets incredibly granular.
Wow, so it's not just about mimicking the line itself, but about capturing how the pencil like interacts with the paper, how the graphite lays down those subtle variations in tone and texture that make a pencil stroke unique.
Yes. And what's fascinating is that the challenges researchers face in digitally simulating this seemingly simple act, it highlights just how sophisticated our own motor skills and perception really are.
That's a really cool way to think about it. It's like the humble pencil in its simplicity is actually like this gateway to understanding these incredible complexities of our own brains, of like the mechanics of how we interact with the world.
It underscores the fact that even the most commonplace objects and actions often have like these hidden depths waiting to be explored.
Okay, so we've covered the economics of the pencil, the mechanics of using it, even the challenges of recreating it digitally. But pencil, ends on this really powerful message about the pencil as like a symbol of human creativity.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
It's a beautiful thought, isn't it? The essay argues that the very existence of a pencil, this tool that's born from decentralized knowledge and diverse skills and the freedom to create, stands as a testament to the power of human ingenuity. Leave all creative energies uninhibited. That's how the essay concludes.
I love that. It circles back to this idea that no single person, no central authority could ever conceive of or create something as seemingly simple as a pencil, right?
Right.
It takes this complex web of individuals, each contributing their own unique piece to the puzzle.
Exactly. iPencil encourages us to value that diversity of knowledge, to foster innovation by creating environments where people are free to experiment and collaborate, and ultimately to trust that amazing things can happen when we kind of unleash that creative energy.
It's a powerful message. And you know what strikes me? It's not just about these big economic or philosophical implications. Even the research on pencil grips, in a way, kind of speaks to this idea of embracing diverse approaches. It's not just about these big economic or philosophical implications. Even the research on pencil grips, in a way, kind of speaks to this idea of embracing diverse approaches.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they documented so many different ways that people hold pencils.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about right or wrong. It was just about, all these variations that work.
It's crazy, all the different ways.
They found everything from the classic dynamic tripod grip,
Right.
to the lateral tripod, the quadrupod, even something called the transpalmer interdigital brace. I'm not even sure I can demonstrate that one.
What? Transpalmer interdigital brace. You're right, I can barely say it, let alone like use it. But I get your point. It just shows that there's not always one correct approach.
Right.
Even in something, again, as seemingly basic as holding a pencil, right?
And what's fascinating is that some of those less conventional grips, the ones that might look a bit awkward at first glance, they didn't actually hinder a person's writing speed or legibility.
So it's about finding what works best for you, what unlocks your own kind of creative flow, even if it's not the standard way.
Yeah,
I like that. It's kind of liberating in a way.
absolutely. Just like those researchers painstakingly trying to simulate a pencil stroke digitally.
Yeah.
The fact that they're putting so much effort into replicating it, I think it speaks to the enduring appeal of the real thing.
Totally. Even in our digital world, with all of its, styluses and touch screens and all that, there's still something kind of special, I think, about that analog experience of a pencil. It's like that tactile feedback, that subtle scratch on the paper, even
Right.
the smell of the cedar wood. It engages our senses in a way that a digital tool can't quite replicate. You know what I mean?
Precisely. And maybe it's also that connection to the past, to all the generations of artists and writers and thinkers who've used this very same tool to express themselves.
It's like holding a piece of history in your hand, a direct link to those creative energies that iPencil talks about.
A tangible reminder that even the simplest tools can be conduits for these really profound ideas and creations.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this surprisingly complex world of pencils,
Yeah.
what's the key takeaway here for our listener? What do we hope that they'll kind of carry with them?
I think next time you pick up a pencil, I'd encourage you to take a moment. Just really think about the journey it took to get to your hand.
Yeah.
All those unseen hands, those diverse skills, this interplay of nature and human ingenuity, it's all there, hidden within this humble tool. And think about the power that it gives you to communicate, to create, to leave your own unique mark on the world.
Beautifully said. A powerful reminder that even the most commonplace objects have these hidden depths and these fascinating stories to tell if we take the time to listen.